I get so caught up in the middle, thinking of drowning in those blue eyes. I'm losing sight 'cause I am falling. I'm so deep.
Hi, and welcome back to Trey's World of Autism. I am speaking about the Nemechek protocol today. For those who have not heard about it, I would highly recommend to do some research on it and also to purchase the book. You can purchase the book on Amazon, hard copy or electronic. I am talking about this book and Dr. Nemechek's protocol because I am doing this with my son Trey, who has autism. He is 4 years old at this time. So actually, I started the Nemechek protocol very slowly. It requires to use 3 ingredients: extra virgin olive oil, inulin, and that's a Now brand. Inulin is a prebiotic fiber, and then also as well as the fish oil omega-3 DHA. The brand that I use is, and that they recommend, is Nordic Naturals. So they do recommend these brands because it's more high quality. Go ahead and check those things out, see if it's available to you where you live. I started the extra virgin olive oil maybe around 3 months ago, and then when I was able to order the inulin, I started that maybe around 2 months ago. And then finally I got the fish oil, and that I started around 3 weeks ago. So I kind of slowly eased my way into the complete protocol. But it's recommended that you start everything and have the complete set. So I just wanted to discuss Dr. Nemechek. He is an internal medicine specialist. So he has 33 years in the medical field. His background is very wide and very extensive. So he does talk about that in his book as well. So if you want more information on Dr. Nemechek, please do read the book. So with my son, we started that with him. So 3 weeks ago was a complete protocol. So I have seen some changes with him. But with Dr. Nemechek, the goal is to get rid of the inflammation that is that's caused within the body, within the brain, within the small intestines. So what happens is that the bacteria in the colon, it moves up into the small intestines. And these bacteria produce propionic acid. And that's what causes the symptoms of autism. So think of propionic acid as Valium. It's like a sedative. So your child's that's why they don't answer to you when you call their name, and they're kind of like in a daze. The bacteria in the small intestines, it causes inflammation in the small intestines. So this inflammation and the bacteria leaks out of the small intestines, and it goes into the bloodstream, and then it goes all the way up into the brain, and then it causes the microglia, which is the white blood cells that help neuronal pruning, which helps your child hit their milestones. It affects them. It affects those white blood cells. So what happens to that is that it stops doing its job, and instead it does the opposite. So that's a big damage to our children in their brain. Dr. Nemechek recommends the inulin to get rid of the propionic acid that the bacteria causes. This helps improve the inflammation to go down. So it's all positive things with the inulin. It helps to get rid of the propionic acid that the bad bacteria forms in the small intestines, and then it reduces inflammation as well when it does this. So after this time that you're giving your child inulin, you're also getting rid of the omega-6 That's like a vegetable oil. You can do research on what omega-6 is, so you have to get rid of this in your children's diet to help reduce the inflammation as well. So, and the the extra virgin olive oil helps to block the inflammation, and the fish oil to help get rid of the inflammation and to help with the development. So with that, there's going to be called an awakening period. So that's when the propionic levels are decreasing, and then you'll see that your child is more awake. And so at this period, your child is more aware. So I did notice that with my son. He was more aware of his brother. He started kind of noticing him a little bit more and interacting with his brother. And then he also was noticing his aunties that were, going outside when they left the house. He would say bye. And then when his uncle came in, he also didn't hesitate to approach him to give him a hug, and that was during the awakening periods. So I did see that difference, but it also said that less sleep. And I did notice that as well. He was kind of awake more. But what Dr. Nemechek said in his book is that depending on how far back the inflammation in their body and the system, in their small intestines and in their blood and the brain, you will see the underlying damage. So depending on this, your child may act differently. And I did see that in my son. So after the awakening period, I was noticing that he was stimming more like jumping, running back and forth, and then fidgeting with his hands. And what else was he doing? And then I noticed that he was crying. I think there's 2 episodes where he was crying at night, just kind of like sobbing for like 2 hours. He did that twice. And then also, what did I notice with him? He's had a few episodes of like anger outbursts. So I was wondering, why is this going on? But since I got the book just maybe a couple weeks ago, I'm slowly learning why is it that this is happening. But like I said, after the propionic acid levels drop, you will see the true underlying damage that is done. So this is why he's having angry outbursts. We're seeing the damage that the inflammation has done, like to his brain. But Dr. Nemechek says that although that there is damage, underlying damage, there's still hope for them to be healed through consistently decreasing the inflammation in their brain. So like the extra virgin olive oil, as well as the inulin, and then the fish oil as well, and then and excluding the omega-6 oils from the food. So that will help along the way, and there is a chance for recovery and repair, because your brain is able to do that once the inflammation is gone. So right now I'm being really patient with my son because it's kind of a different change with him. It's not so extreme that I can handle it, but there is a change in him, like the angry outbursts and the sleepless nights, and then some crying. But the underlying dysfunctions or damage that was done, he explains that there was damage done to the autonomic nervous system, which controls everything in the body, the organs and everything. So if this is damaged, there's a lot of things that's going on inside of them that needs to be healed with this protocol. So I'm sticking to it, and everything that Dr. Nemechek said in the book is pretty much on point. And it helps me understand my son a lot more and what is going on in his body. So I do, once again, highly recommend this book. He's taking care of patients from all ages and from all different extents and degrees of damage, that underlying damage. So he's taking care of like someone who's 23 years old who hasn't spoken for that long, 23 years, and like after maybe like 8 months of his protocol, there's now language and improvement. So he's about not covering the damage, but actually healing the damage from inside out. So I am totally understanding his book, and I'm following his protocol, And I just wanted to let you know where I'm at with my son. And it's just very uplifting and very hopeful protocol that he's, discovered for these children. And it's just an eye-opener to, what's going on in their body. And so my son right now is experiencing all this. And I'll give you an update after this period that he's going through. So like I said, first it's like you're experiencing the awakening period, no more propionic acid. So now it's like they're off the Valium symptoms, and now they're awake. But now if there's underlying dysfunctions, now he's awake to his dysfunctions that was happening inside of his body. And so for my son, I think that, since me and my husband think he's had it at birth, so there must have been a lot of inflammation going on in his body and then affecting the brain. So now it's time for healing the brain, so that it can, so that the inflammation can be gone, and then the brain can be restored so that the neuronal pruning can be done. And when the neuronal pruning is done, that's when they can hit their milestones, because that's how it, the microglia, when they're not affected by the propionic acid, when they're doing their job, that's what they do. They help prune the neurons, which helps your child, grow and develop and whatnot. So it's very extensive, but I just wanted to share you with my journey. And hopefully that, if it's not for you, if you don't want to use it, it's up to you as well. Another thing to add is that Dr. Nemechek says that the brain, once you get rid of the inflammation and it starts to heal, the recovery rate, for every 1 month, it recovers 2 to 3 months. So like, for example, like my son since birth, so I did a calculation. So it was kind of like a year and 8 months. So to heal the brain, that was kind of just like an estimate in the book. But so like for my son, it'll probably be until he's like 6 years and 8 months to recover in his brain function. So that's another interesting fact that he wrote in his book as well. But I do highly recommend for all parents that have children or know of children with autism or developmental delay, that they read this book. And why not try it? Because the ingredients to try it is natural ingredients. So thank you so much for listening to my channel. Again, please leave comments or any questions that you may have, and I'll be glad to answer them regarding my son and my journey with my son Trey. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and like and subscribe if you are interested in seeing more videos. Thank you so much. God bless. Bye.
I get so caught up in the middle, thinking of drowning in those blue eyes. I'm losing sight 'cause I am falling. I'm so deep down, deep down.